Right then, lads and lasses, how we doing, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Welcome back to the Geordie Josh channel, and welcome back for daily news. As you can see, before I say anything else, you may be thinking, what the hell is that? That's my pet rabbit. Now, I've got to bring you some entertainment in the background, haven't I, ladies and gentlemen? We still haven't got the Carabao Cup thing up there. Honestly, this is a nightmare. I don't know if it's because I'm now living in a new build and it's so hard to get that kind of plaque of the medal that I had up on the wall. But anyways, hopefully we'll get it up soon. And I've also took away the big teddy there, and I've put it there. So for the time being, my rabbit Benji's going to be the entertainment in the background. But in today's daily news video, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, the Yoane Wissa deal to Newcastle United, as it stands, is off, to say the least. Brentford's asking price has now reached £60 million for the Congolese forward. Newcastle, and it has been reported in the same article, will simply not do a deal at that price, and I'm going to be honest, as we shouldn't. £60 million? Without further ado, let's get into it. And as of course you may know this, ladies and gentlemen, if Yoane Wissa doesn't come to Newcastle United, Alexander Isak, whatever this means, if you want him to, if you don't want him to, he will be staying at Newcastle United. We simply can't let him leave. Oh my god, Newcastle United. As of this morning, it was reported by Craig Hope that Newcastle positively starting, and then it slowly comes down to a gradual slope. Newcastle are still focused on the Yoane Wissa deal, and the next 24 hours will be key in terms of finalising the transfer. As of the weekend, Brentford had a £50 million valuation of Yoane Wissa for, in my opinion, yes, he scored 19 non-penalty goals last season in the Premier League, which is outstanding, but someone who's going to turn 29 next month is not going to be worth £50 million. Like, he'd have to be putting up insane numbers for that price. Not only was £50 million their valuation on the weekend, now Monday, for some reason, it's £60 million, according to Craig Hope. Newcastle, as yet again said by the man himself, will not do a deal at them numbers. PIF, Newcastle United's ownership, would simply not let that transfer go through, yet again, as we should not. There is hope that some sort of agreement could be reached today, as talks do resume today, and even if Newcastle sign Vissa, as we all know, they still want another striker. That's been the plan all summer, so we can then consider selling Alexander Isak, probably to Liverpool. Other teams like Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Al Hilal have reportedly been mooted to be interested, but as we all know, if he is going anywhere, it's probably going to be Liverpool. Yet again, PSG's Gonzalo Ramos remains an option for Newcastle as a striker, of course, and if Wissa doesn't happen, yet again, Isak leaving Newcastle United gets more impossible by the minute. An outcome for Yoane Wissa is needed as soon as possible, and as it does, I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a massive fan of Yoane Wissa. I really am. His range of finishing is fantastic. He scores the tap-ins, gets into the right places, as a striker should. I know people really criticise them finishes, but if a striker knows how to get in to them positions, he's going to score goals for you, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't care how he scores them. As long as he is scoring, I'm never going to criticise that. It's outside the box finishes, fantastic finesse finishes into the top corner, as Newcastle learned single-handedly last season, or maybe it was the season prior, where he scored a wonderful goal against us. He scores against the top teams like Man City, Arsenal. We've seen it all, ladies and gentlemen. Yoane Wissa is a fantastic player, but £60 million for, yet again, I will repeat myself, someone who's going to turn 29 next month. We cannot sign that off. Simply, no matter how desperate we are for a striker, we're not going to get mugged off yet, and we are if we pay that price. Now, we've already spoke about... Oh my god, Benji's just so iconic in the background, isn't he? He's also shedding at the moment, so he's going to be getting his hairs all over my pillow. Anyways, as we all know, and we've spoke about it plenty of times in this video already, but that means that Alexander Isak will undoubtedly be staying at Newcastle United if the Yoane Wissa deal doesn't happen. Yet again, it does say there is still some hope that it could come to fruition, but as it stands, not only do Newcastle need to sign Yoane Wissa, first of all, to let Alexander Isak go, but we also, yet again, want another striker. Newcastle United need two strikers to let Alexander Isak leave. We can't even sign one. So what is the plan if Isak leaves? He's going to have to come into the team, and he is going to have to play football when the transfer window ends if he stays at Newcastle. He is going to have to play football. He can't ruin his career like that, and he will if he doesn't play a full season. He would have left Newcastle United hung out to dry, and I don't think that would have ever been seen anything like that before. A player doesn't play a full season of football because he wants to move to a different club. That would be worldwide breaking news, and it would be absolutely disgraceful as well. I don't think words could describe that if Alexander Isak was to take them actions, but I don't think, in my opinion, from my personal point of view, you please let me know down below what you think, and also let me know down below of the £60 million valuation of Yoane Wissa. What do you make of that? But as it stands right now, would you let Alexander Isak come back to Newcastle United with open arms? Now, let me just say this. Of course, it's very, very easy to get blinded by, oh, well, he did score 20 plus goals in the league last season. Like, he is absolutely fantastic. And I will say this, he is one of the best players we've ever seen at the club. He is one of the best players in world football right now, currently. But let's be honest, he's disrespecting Newcastle United immensely. Not turned up to training, not went to pre-season tour, not even showed his face to the Newcastle United fan base, didn't go to Celtic, went to his old club's training facilities, and everyone dressed it up. And Newcastle United tried to dress it up and give him a little bit of headroom by saying it's a thigh injury or something like that. Newcastle United tried to help him and give him a little bit more time and a little bit more breathing space to make up his mind. Well, he's made up his mind. He wants to go to Liverpool, and in my opinion, not even playing against Aston Villa. Nah, there's no way back for me. And if he does come back to Newcastle United and he does score loads of goals, I'll never forget. I'll never be like, go on, Isak. No, it's done for me. As fantastic as he was, he's one of the best players I've ever seen at this club. And yes, in that very closet right there, I do have an Alexander Isak shirt. I won't be burning it, as some Newcastle United fans have. And I'll never ever burn a Newcastle United shirt, no matter who's on the back of it. But no, there's no way back for Alexander Isak for me. Yet again, if it unfortunately does happen where he comes to Newcastle and he's scoring loads of goals, I'm not going to criticise him every single week. If he does something wrong, I will criticise him as a football player, but I'm not going to hound him every single week. If he's wearing the badge, I'll say, you know what, just do what you've got to do. But I'm never, ever going to praise him and say, do you know what it is? He wasn't even that bad, because he's outrightly disrespected this football club, and that will never, never be forgiven from me. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. You let me know down below, yet again, what do you think of Yoane Wissa being mooted at £60 million for Newcastle United? No. We simply can't pay that. I want Vissa at Newcastle so bad, and I really, really do hope that we can reach some sort of agreement. Brentford, they are going to have to lower that price tag. Now, I know they've lost Brian and Burmo, could be Yoane Wissa, and of course Thomas Frank. And of course, after that performance against Nottingham Forest, it looks like they could potentially be down and out this season, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's the first game of the season, but they did not look promising whatsoever. Of course, their only goal in that 3-1 loss was a penalty from Igor Thiago, so they're not causing a lot of threat. Even Kelleher goal looks a bit floaty, ladies and gentlemen, looks invisible to me. But there we'll have it. Yet again, also let me know, like I've said, what would you do if Alexander Isak was to return to Newcastle United, playing in, week out? Would he still be one of your favourite players? Would you still back him every single week, overly praise him? For me, if he's wearing the shirt, he's wearing the shirt. If he's scoring, he's scoring. But I will never, ever forgive him. And I'll never, ever have any kind words to ever say about him. End of story. There we'll have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed we get some more news on Yoane Wissa. We all know that we want him at Newcastle United. And you know what? My personal shout, if we can't sign Vissa, I want to say Jorgen Strand Larsen at Newcastle United. We'll touch upon that more in a different video. 6'4", massive striker, great in the air, some fantastic finishes. And although they got pumped, Wolves 4-0 off Manchester City, he looked like a pretty decent player in that exact performance. And of course, he scored 15 goals last season. Yet again, I think he's a fantastic footballer. So we'll touch more upon that in the coming videos. I've been Geordie Josh. Hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new for all Newcastle United content. Turn that notification bell on so you are never ever late for the news. Yet again, I've been Geordie Josh. Go and enjoy your day, people.